Hey everyone! You guys don't normally catch me in the midst of doing my hair, but I haven't done a Facebook Live in a couple of days. I want to hop on. So if you guys are new to me, hello, I'm Jereshia Hawk, income strategist, and I, really help coaches, consultants, and freelancers create and sell their own signature services online. But today I want to talk about really what is the role of a coach or a course creator. Like, what is the responsibility of a consultant or a freelancer? As you guys are popping the comment, say hey, let me know you're here. But I really wanted to talk about this topic because all of my students are coaches, consultants, or freelancers. I'm a coach, I'm a consultant, but I'm also a course creator. And I just think a lot of the time we can maybe forget, or maybe we don't have full clarity around what our responsibility is as the leader of that community, as that instructor, and just wanted to chat with you guys about it. So why am I doing my hair? I'm getting ready to hop on a plane in just a little bit. I'm heading down to New Orleans for the Venture Pop conference, which I'm super, super excited about. I'll be speaking down there. But really, let's just go back to the topic here. So what is the role of a coach or a consultant, a freelancer, or course creator? And us as business owners, right? Like the role of a business owner, if you're an individual who's looking to start a business, or if you have started a business, your number one responsibility is to solve someone else's problem. And I don't mean that in the sense of you running a charity where you're solving people's problems, but the goal of a business is to create a product. Whether that's in the form of a physical product or in the form of a service that you're providing that actually solves a problem, that provides a solution to somebody else's need. And a business cannot exist if it does not solve someone else's problem, because at the end of the day, you're working with clients, and a client has to choose whether or not, why are they hiring you versus hiring somebody else. Your product or your service or your solution needs to solve their problem. But I think there's another layer when people are hiring coaches, or when people are hiring course creators, or enrolling in a course. Again, the responsibility of the course they're buying, or the responsibility of the coach they're hiring, they need to be solving a clear problem with a clear destination for that student. So for example, when students enroll in services that sell, it's kind of a hybrid. It is a course, but we also have coaching components to it, because I'm not really the biggest fan of strictly DIY programs. I think it works for some problems that people solve, but we teach people how to create and sell a signature service. And we've just been able to get our clients amazing results when it's a hybrid type of environment, meaning there's course content, video modules and assignments that they do, but there's also an element of coaching that takes place where they're able to hop on live calls or get feedback in the group or whatever. So we've noticed we get better results that way. But one thing about me, and why when people are new to working with me, they're like, Jay, my edges, bro, you really snatching my edges. This is really stretching me outside of my comfort zone, versus I know in other people's courses, because at least for me personally, this is just Jereshia Hawk's 180 cents that I'm giving you guys today. But I believe as a course creator that it's not my job just to give you information. It's not my job just to only package a bunch of information into a product and sell it. My role is to be able to offer somebody a transformation, right? There's information that's knowledge, those are strategies, that are tactics that I teach through my curriculum. But the goal, my responsibility as a coach and a course creator, is to package my intellectual property, what I know, my strategies and my skill set, in a way that allows somebody to experience a transformation. And I think there's multiple transformations that we help our students provide or achieve. One being them actually experiencing this external physical transformation, in the sense that, now they know how to create and sell a service. They're able to generate and earn more income. That's an external transformation that we teach them how to do. We teach them how to not just create the service, because most of our clients are already know what they're great at doing. A lot of the time they already know what could be a service and how to deliver the service, but they don't know how to actually package it and sell it. They don't know the business aspect behind like building the service. So that's like one transformation that we, have metrics around and evaluate our success on. But the second being the internal transformation that has to take place, right? The internal transformation of increasing their confidence, of them gaining a new line and sight of clarity, like increasing their ability to break down these limiting beliefs about what they think has to be true in order for them to achieve and live the desired lifestyle that they want. Like that is my role. And like, that's literally what people are paying me for. Like it may not be on the sales page. It may not be on the sales page that like when you work with us, your confidence will increase, that the clarity that you have about the gifts that God has given you will be enhanced. Like it's not that, we may not put that on the sales page, but I take that as a personal responsibility. And I think we all should. Like I think at the end of the day, why do we exist? Why are we doing what it is that we're doing? Ultimately, like we're here to serve the kingdom. We are here to, like, our businesses are not, they're ours in the sense that like God is using us as the vessel to be the ones that create them and that build them. But at the end of the day, like we are just the vessel. Like what we're building is so much bigger than us. What we're building is like bigger than just our household, like our livelihood, like the service that we are all providing, me in the sense of creating services that sell, or like Takora Davis, who is on here, who I absolutely like love and adore. She provides legal support and trademarks and copyrights for people who are like me, who have this intellectual property to protect. Like that is her given assignment, in the sense of like how she's, categorized that in her business. Or Sierra Haynes, who is on right now, like she is the financial guru. She is the CPA. Like that is her assignment. So I just think that when we are stepping into this role as a coach, or stepping into this role as a consultant, stepping into this role as a freelancer, like don't shortchange or diminish the value that you bring to the table, and just don't lose sight of it. Because like some people will say, well, I'm only doing this. Like there is no like, oh, it's not some small thing that you're doing. Like you hold a huge responsibility, and you're making an impact, and you're leaving an imprint on the people that you've been called to touch and serve. But I think also too, like in the sense that we have to make sure that we don't allow our ego and don't allow our pride to, I think, like step in and and have us to the point where we lose focus in regards to what it is that we're really here to do. Like what it is that the real assignment is. Like our role is to help somebody else experience a transformation, not just package up a bunch of information and be out here just selling stuff for the sake of selling it. And like, I know, especially for us in services that sell in our programs, like, I'm not just here to like have you guys go through the content and like do the assignment and then give you a pat on the back for saying you got it done. I mean, that's part of the role. You do need to show up. You do need to do the work. But as you do the work, like it's not just about me giving you the gold star for doing it. If I see an opportunity to ask a deeper question, or to offer a different perspective, or, to like help you dig deeper, I'm going to take it there. Why am I doing that? It's mainly because I want to see you grow. Like, I'm not just here just to be selling courses. Like, I'm not just out here just to be making money and making clients. Like, my responsibility is to help you get a transformation. And like, oh, hey, Dominique, we were just talking about this in our program and services that sell. One of like the pre-work assignments that we have all of our students do is actually redefine what success means on their own terms. Right? So what I mean by that is when they come into the program, there are these categories that they get to select on, like, do they want to keep their job and just make extra money? Do they want to quit their job? Or are they already full-time and want to be able to increase their business income? And the reason why we do this is we understand that all of our students are coming in at very different and unique points in their business journey. So we want to make sure that we're tailoring the experience based off of what their definition of success is, based off of how they define where they want to be, right? Like, I'm not here to tell people you need to go quit your job. Like, that is not Jereshia's assignment. My assignment is to help you really understand like the freedom that you have and the freedom that comes when you have that confidence in your ability to choose. And I think that's really, really important. But today we were having a conversation about how much money do you actually need to quit your job? And a lot of the time, again, I think this is also like, why have we been called as, especially, I'm giving you guys my example of a role of what I think my role as a coach and a course creator is. Because again, I'm here to provide somebody a transformation, both externally in the sense of like the actual thing our product solves for people, but also internally, their ability to show up in their God assignment gift in a greater capacity. That is, I believe I take that responsibility. And at least to play my part and to play my role in helping them get there. But the question came up of how much money do you actually need to quit your job? And people were crunching the numbers and doing all the thing. And I know for me, I'll share mine. I won't like call anybody out, but I'll share mine. I know when I was at the point where I was considering quitting my job, I was like, I need to make $30,000 a month before I'm able to quit. And my coach at the time asked me the question, why do you need $30,000 a month before you can quit your job? And the analytical engineer in me, I rationalized it. I was like, well, I need this much money in savings. I need this much money to pay my bills. I need this much money to pay myself. I need this much money to pay my taxes. I need X, Y, and Z. So until I make $30,000 a year, I can't quit my job. I'm on a Facebook Live. My boyfriend just walked in. He's like, looking at me like, girl, you curling your wig and you talking to people online. But that's how we do it here at the Hawk Hustle headquarters, okay? We keep it real all the time. No makeup on. Wig ain't even curled and straight, but y'all getting the juice this morning, okay? But so I told her that, like, I need to make $30,000 a month before I quit my job. And she asked the question, why do you need it? I rationalized it because, of course, me being the engineer, I had my spreadsheets. I had crunched my numbers. I was like, this is why I need all that. And she's like, well, how much money are you making now? And at the time, I'm just being completely transparent. At the time, I was bringing in, after taxes, about $5,000 a month. So after taxes, I was taking home somewhere around $5,000 a month. So she was saying, why do you need to make $30,000 a month in your business before you're able to quit your job? Like, that's when I really allowed myself, before I responded, I allowed myself to like meditate on that question. And I realized that it was fear. It was fear. I think part of me was like, I put this big number and rationalized it in my mind and on my spreadsheets, saying that I need $30,000 before I can have the freedom and the security and the safety before I'm able to quit my job. And it really had nothing to do with the number. More so, I put this big old number out there because honestly, like, I never really believed it was possible for me to make $30,000 in a month. So I put this big number out so I could sit here and say I set a SMART goal. I need to make $30,000. And when I make $30,000, I can measure that. Then I'll be able to quit my job. But I had set, that was, when you guys really break that down, that was a limiting belief. I set this $30,000 goal. That was all based out of fear. Because I felt as if I needed that $30,000 to have this sense of security and a blanket for me to be able to step away from my job. But I also never really thought I would achieve $30,000 in a month. So like, here the complex in that. If I never really subconsciously truly believe that I can achieve $30,000 in a month, I'll never get to the point where I make $30,000 a month, where I have to uphold my end of the commitment, saying that I'll quit my job when I get there. Does that make sense? Like, it's kind of deep, but her role was like, she was helping me uncover these limiting beliefs that I didn't even realize I had at the time. And then I'm setting a goal about how much money I have to make out of fear. Because I really didn't think I'd be able to get there. Like, so I'm setting this big old grandiose goal about how much money I have to make. Because I don't really believe I'll ever get there where I actually have to act on it, where I actually have to quit my job. And she helped me just realign my perspective around, like, if you are making and bringing home $5,000 a month now, and I'm living way beyond my means, and I'm living way beyond, and Dominique, exactly, like, when we shoot too low out of fear, it's kind of the same thing. I completely agree with you. Like, so when I think, like, again, our role as coaches, our role, at least this is what I take responsibility for, but I'm hoping this is inspiring you guys to identify, like, really what is your responsibility outside of just delivering a product or delivering a service. Like, we're really here to help somebody experience a transformation. But like, again, I love that Dominique said that, like, when we shoot too low, it can be the same thing out of fear. Because a lot of the time we may not be able to see beyond what we currently know as reality. And sometimes we will set goals and set things that are like, they're so easy for us to do. It's not really a stretch. So then we're never putting ourselves in this, I guess, area of discomfort to allow us to grow. So when you're really, I think there's a healthy medium, right? Like if you're just setting goals that are so small, you don't even have to take a step to achieve them. Like that's out of fear as well, because you're scared of putting yourself in a space that forces you to be vulnerable, right? And that ultimately forces you not to just rely on what your capabilities are, but it forces you to rely on God. Like when you do that, like you're also definitely operating out of fear, because it's like, oh, I'm gonna just do what I know or I know I can do, and not what I'm putting myself in a position where I know that I can't do it. Like I know that I can't do it, and I know that I'm going to have to rely on God to be the one that comes through. Like, and I'm going to have to give, like, I can't take the credit for this because I know that I'm not the one that's going to be able to get there. So Dominique, I love that you said that. But I think also on the flip side, some of us will put these requirements. And the reason why I said that is like, you know, for me, I'm putting this $30,000 requirement on when I can have the freedom, when I can at least feel the freedom to choose how I want to live my life. Why am I putting this huge requirement on it? And I think that I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't believe everybody should be full-time in entrepreneurship. I don't believe this life is for everybody. But at the end of the day, like our job is not our source, right? Our job is not our source. A job, we do get a sense of security by having a job. But at the end of the day, a business can shut down. At the end of the day, like people get laid off. At the end of the day, the economy can turn, and it's like what we thought we had in security is now gone. And I mean, like in entrepreneurship, don't get me wrong. Like this road from an emotional standpoint is probably one of the craziest ones I have ever experienced. Like it is, there's a lot of risk and uncertainty in this as well. Like, especially being a newer entrepreneur, your business model is going to change all the time. Like, you know, I've created programs, cut the programs, sold new programs, got rid of the programs. Like, you know, there's a lot of uncertainty and risk in this too, but like regardless of what world you're in, you're going to be living in that. And like, yeah, Shelly said, like, this is the life of faith. Like at the end of the day, that's what it's really about. And just knowing that we're not idolizing entrepreneurship, that we're not idolizing our job as the source, and making sure that we don't lose sight of who the real source is. But I'm just saying all this to say, like, I just think that when you guys are stepping into a space of being a coach for somebody, being a consultant for somebody, providing a service, being a freelancer, or when you get to a point where you've been able to leverage your service and turn it into a course or turn it into a membership, like, I just really believe at the end of the day, our responsibility is not merely just to package up information and sell it. Our responsibility, the thing that people are paying us for, is to help them experience a transformation. And, you know, the transformation, obviously, first and foremost, like, definitely needs to be the thing that you're actually selling. Like, it needs to be a clear transformation, a clear packaged offer that you are selling to somebody at the end of the day. Like, there's a very clear, yes, we have arrived. But I also I really believe that, like, we are here to provide transformation, both internal and external, guys. And I know if anybody is in my programs, if you roll with me in services that sell, if you are a one-on-one client or whatever, like, just know your edges may get snatched, okay? But just know it's in love. All my clients say it. Sometimes we get funny and send castor oil and hair regrowth, deep conditioner and stuff like that in the mail when it gets too raw and too real. But just know that, like, if you're working with me, if I'm asking you guys difficult questions, if I'm asking you questions that maybe make you feel uncomfortable, if I'm asking you to do something that maybe you've never done before, just know it's coming from a space of, I am here to help you experience a transformation. And in order for you to get to where it is that you want to be, you have to do things differently than how you've always done them before. Like it's you are going to feel uncomfortable. You are going to feel like fear probably creep up like you've never felt it creep up before. Because I don't just want what's easy for you. Like, if you're, and I really do pay attention. Like, people will tell you all day, every day that if you're in services that sell, they've never had a coach that was this involved in the course ever before. I know all of your names. I read all of your assignments. I read everything that you guys submit to us. Like, my boyfriend knows who half of y'all are because I talk to him about y'all. Like, I know my students by name. And with that being said, when it is that intimate of an environment, this allows us to tailor your experience. So you may see us asking you questions and but definitely inviting you to step into a greater capacity than you maybe see me doing that for other students. Because I can see where you're at, and I'm not about to let you play small. So just know that if you're in the Hawk Hustle crew, edges may get snatched. Like you may walk out bald headed, but just know it will grow back. And just know that like where our heart is, like we want for you to experience the absolute biggest transformation that you can while you're working with us. Like this is just one step in your journey. This is just one step in like your evolution of really fulfilling your assignment, but also just like growing your business. Like we're just one step in that journey. So we're going to make sure that we maximize our time together to make sure that you get the absolute biggest transformation that you can, so that as you continue on your journey, like you can just continue to evolve and grow into what you've been called to be. But that's what I deem my responsibility. Like, and I think regardless of what industry you're in, this is what makes our businesses different than other people. Like people say like, what differentiates me from another business owner? And I think part of your core values is a huge differentiating factor. Like, Shelly Mills is on. Shelly's been killing it. She just got through services that sell. She's a real estate agent for empty nesters and baby boomers, but more so, I guess, like for empty nesters when people are like getting to retire or whatever, she helps them sell their home. But like, I think the reason why a lot of our students are uniquely different than other people in their industry is like they come with a heart of service before anything else, right? Like our role and like one of the, I think the core values that we teach in our programs is like you will never have to sell anyone if you have a heart of serving first. You'll never have to feel this like sleazy, salesy, like pitchy type of thing when you understand that you have a heart of serving the other person on the other line. Like on a sales conversation or during a sales experience, you're never like trying to sit here and coerce and understand sales psychology to the point where you're forcing somebody into making a move. Like, no. Like the only role that you are playing is identifying what this person's problem is and helping them make the next best decision for where they're at in their journey and for where it is that they want to go. All you're doing is making the invitation so you can get involved to be a part of that journey. That's it. That's all we're doing. All we're doing is making the invitation. But when you have a heart of service and when you have a heart of, let me help this person make the very best next decision for them, that may mean that their next best decision is not by working with you. It may mean that I have to refer a client to like one of my, like somebody in my amazing network. Like, it's not about like, I need to get the yes from them. I need to sell them. I need to get my money. It's about how can I serve this person? How can I make sure that I understand what this person's needs are? And then help them make the very best next decision for where they're at in their journey. And there's things that we do in our business to qualify leads. So we're not just attracting a bunch of people who like we can't ultimately serve because like that's not, like we're not like a 1-800 help desk number. So there's things that you can do to qualify your leads and all of that. But like at the end of the day, that's what the goal is. Like that is what the goal is. But when you operate from the space of serving over selling, that changes the game for you. It changes the game for your business. Like you'll notice the caliber of your clientele dramatically increase. Because if all you're doing is just serving the person, like helping them make the next best decision, and if that next best decision is enrolling in your program, that means you have the absolute best people in your program. You know that you have the right people in the room at the table. And Zanika, she did amazing. Like, she got inducted into the Mo Money Club yesterday, y'all. So everybody gives Zanika a round of applause. She collected her first 4-figure check from a client yesterday on her lunch break. Out here getting this lunch money. Zanika, she's a PR and she does PR, public relations. So like everybody like give her some love, because that's a huge accomplishment that, you know, she got her first 4-figure client. So just throw up some like, you know, some like little hearts or a little balloon emoji or something. Because I know that she's on right now. But the thing that she said yesterday that just like really warmed my heart was the fact that like our community is like a family. Like, it's a sisterhood, it's a brotherhood. Like, we really do create a space where we are like family. And I think that when you operate from a space of serving over selling, that's what will happen. Because like at the end of the day, like, how do you feel about your brothers, your sisters, like your family members, your cousins? Like, you want to see them win. Like, it's no competition about like, oh, why is she ahead of me? Like, like, what's she doing that I ain't got? Like, there's no like, there's healthy competition in the sense that like, oh, bet I see somebody else eating. Like, yeah, I can do it too. But like, all of us just want to see each other win. Like, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And when you do have a heart of serving over selling, you will create and ultimately create this community where everybody you work with are like, it almost is like family. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, Takora recently had a new addition to her family. She had a baby. It's like, that's family. Like, even though Takora isn't like an active student in my programs anymore, like, we still send gifts. Because she just, like, there's a new baby in the family. Like, we acknowledge that. You know, like, you know, if people are going through hard times in their life, like, we send cards. Like, if, you know, like, if people are going through things with family, like, you know, deaths in the family or dealing with like tough cancers or like whatever, like, we send gifts in the mail. Like, because it's when again, it's because we not like, I know for me, I'm not out here just trying to make money. Like, you know, money is just a resource. Money is simply a tool that's going to allow us to do some greater things in this world. But that's not like the only goal, right? So I just think that I just had to share this. This was just really heavy on my heart. Because as you guys, I know all of my clients are coaches, consultants, freelancers, and they will get to a space in their business where they do evolve and start going from one-on-one to one-to-many. And we start turning your one-on-one service into a leveraged offer that you're going to be touching more lives and impacting more people. And I just want us to never lose sight of like where our heart needs to be in that process, like what our heart posture is, right? Like, I don't want us to ever lose sight. And I think as you're growing in your business, there will be times where you do get distracted, where you do lose sight of your heart posture, and just know that that's part of being human. And that's part of the process, but that's also the beauty of being in community. It's the beauty of like, and I will say, like, the more you guys show up in our space or whatever program you guys are in, the more that you show up, the more that you're visible, the more that you implement, the more that people can get the opportunity to get to know you, and the more that we can be able to serve and support you at a higher capacity. Right? Like, I only know a lot of these students so intimately because they showed up for themselves. You know, they did the work. They were in the comments. They were asking for feedback. Like, they were offering feedback to other people. They showed up. You know, we only can like do so much, you know, like, so we all individually have to play our parts and be the commitment. Like, if you're in a course or in a program and you're wondering like, why am I not getting the transformation? It's like, are you doing your part? Are you showing up? Are you doing the work? Are you taking advantage of all the resources that are given to you? Like, you have to play your role too. But I just think at the end of the day, like, the work that we guys, that we are, the businesses that we are building and the work that we are doing, we had the opportunity to really touch people's lives on such an intimate and personal level. And even though this is all online, like, you know, I've never met most of you guys in person before, which that will change because I'm like, there needs to be some more Hawk Hustle retreats in the future. But like, you really do have the opportunity to create an intimate and personal and like, relationship with the clients and the people that you work with if you choose to. And I just think amazing transformation can happen when you do that, right? So don't be so quick to try to build this passive business that you don't ever have to show up and be in. I don't really think that those get the best results. Like, there's definitely ways for you to automate aspects of your business so you can get more time back, so you can just show up and serve, which I'm all for. And like, we're in the business process of like redesigning our business model to do that. But like, I don't think I'll ever build a business where like my hands aren't in it in some capacity with my clients. Like, my zone of genius is being able to show up and serve. So yeah, I just wanted to like depart that on you guys. It was really heavy on my heart last night and this morning, and just wanted to share. So I'd love for you guys, like, just to let that marinate on in. Like, really don't lose sight of what your assignment is, and like the role that you can play in really creating a transformation in somebody else's life. And at the end of the day, for everybody who is on here, like selling a service, offering a service, freelancing or whatever, like, you are not just selling a bunch of content. You are not just selling a bunch of just stuff, a bunch of information. Like, your information needs to be packaged in a way, have a process to your information. Like, I know we talked about this on our masterclass, but like, being able to take your information, take those strategies that you have, and package those into systems and tools so you can help your clients ultimately experience a transformation. So I hope this was, nice for y'all on this, what is today? Friday morning. Yes, Latrice girl, I'm about to head to the airport in a little bit. And I'm like, y'all, I'm curling my hair, but we got we just keeping it all the way real this morning. No makeup, wig not situated. It's a little crooked or whatever. Curling the hair before I head on out. But if you do want to hang out with us more, stay connected in our community, I would love for you guys to join our Facebook group. You can just click the link in the title of this Facebook Live, or click the link below and request to join our Facebook community. It's filled with just coaches, consultants, and freelancers who are who are in the process of either creating their signature service or who are already selling theirs. There's hundreds of us in there. So if you want to hang out with us more, and like be able to embark on that journey with us, it's absolutely free to join. Just answer those 3 quick prompt questions, and then somebody from our team will be accepting you into the group. So then you can be a hall customer, baby. So just thank you guys for hanging with me this morning. If you have any insights that you guys want to share, pop it in the comments. Let me know. But be well today. Share this message if it rang home true for you. Share it so your people on your timeline can get the love too. Like, we'll get all the realness. And I will chat with you guys later. Bye, everyone.